The Vorten armada stretched across the void like a plague of metallic locusts, their ships numbering in the thousands. They had conquered 17 systems in 3 months, their reputation preceding them like a death knell. Now they circled the mining colony of Kepler 442b, preparing for what they assumed would be another easy victory. Commander Imogen stood on the bridge of the UHSN Indomitable, her fingers drumming against the armrest of her captain's chair. Behind her, the tactical officer Jason Martinez studied the holographic display with intense focus, his jaw clenched as he processed the enemy formation. "They haven't detected us yet," Jason reported, his voice steady despite the tension crackling through the bridge. "We're still in the shadow of the gas giant." Emma nodded slowly. The Indomitable was humanity's first true warship, built not for exploration or commerce, but for one purpose alone: war. For 200 years, humanity had been the galaxy's pacifists, the negotiators, the bridge builders. They had watched as species after species fell to aggressors, had pleaded for peace at every turn. The galaxy had called them weak, called them cowards. The galaxy was about to learn otherwise. "Captain, we're receiving distress calls from the colony," the communications officer announced. "The Vortens are giving them 1 hour to surrender." Emma's expression hardened. She had been born on a colony just like this one. She knew the faces behind those distress signals: miners, engineers, families who had traveled light years to build a new life. The Vortens would enslave them all, strip the planet bare, and move on to their next victim. Not today. "Jason, what's our tactical assessment?" Emma asked. Jason manipulated the holographic display, his fingers dancing through the data streams. "They're overconfident, Captain. Their formation is designed for intimidation, not defense. Their flagship is positioned at the center, protected, but also trapped if we collapse the perimeter." "How long until the fleet arrives?" Emma inquired. 20 minutes behind us, Captain." "But—" Jason hesitated, meeting her gaze. 20 minutes might be too long for the colony. Emma understood the unspoken question. The Indomitable was alone, outnumbered 1,000 to 1. Every tactical doctrine, every simulation, every advisor had told her to wait for reinforcements. But tactical doctrines were written by species who had never pushed humanity to its breaking point. "All hands, battle stations," Emma commanded. Her voice carried across every deck, every corridor of the massive warship. "This is not a drill. We are engaging the enemy." The bridge fell into controlled chaos as officers scrambled to their stations. Jason pulled up the weapons array, and for the first time in galactic history, humanity's true arsenal was about to be unveiled. "Bring us out of the shadow," Emma ordered. "Let them see us." The Indomitable emerged from behind the gas giant like a leviathan rising from the depths. It was larger than anything the Vortens had encountered, its hull bristling with weapons systems that defied conventional design. Humanity had studied every conflict, every battle, every defeat in galactic history. They had learned from them all. The Vorten communications channels exploded with confusion and alarm. Their sensors were screaming warnings they didn't understand. The energy readings from the human ship made no sense. The power output alone should have been impossible. "They're hailing us," the communications officer reported. On screen, Emma said. The Vorten commander appeared, his reptilian features twisted in what might have been amusement. "Humans," he hissed. "We have heard of your kind. Weak. Afraid of conflict. You send one ship against our armada? Your foolishness will. You have 30 seconds to retreat from this system." Emma interrupted, her voice cold as the void. "This is your only warning." The Vorten commander's laugh was like breaking glass. "Or what, human? You will negotiate us to death?" "You will." Emma cut the transmission. "Jason, show them what happens when you wake a sleeping giant." "Yes, Captain." Charging main cannon. The Indomitable's primary weapon was based on principles the galaxy thought impossible, a directed quantum disruptor that could tear the fabric of spacetime itself. It had taken humanity 50 years to develop, another 50 to perfect. They called it the Ragnarok Protocol. A lance of pure devastation erupted from the Indomitable's bow. It crossed the distance to the Vorten flagship in a heartbeat, and where it struck, reality itself seemed to scream. The flagship didn't explode, it simply ceased to exist, along with everything in a 2-kilometer radius around it. The galaxy fell silent. Every ship, every station, Every civilization monitoring the battle stopped. The Vortons, who had been advancing, suddenly found their formation in disarray. The impossible had just occurred before their eyes. Target their command carriers, Emma ordered. Fire at will. Jason didn't hesitate. The Indomitable's secondary batteries came alive, each shot carefully calculated, each target a linchpin in the Vorton formation. Humanity had learned that warfare wasn't about the most kills. It was about breaking the enemy's will to fight. Within 3 minutes, the Vorton armada was in full retreat. Within 5, they were broadcasting unconditional surrender. Within 7, the rest of humanity's fleet arrived to find the battlefield already won. Jason stood beside Emma as they watched the Vorton ships flee into hyperspace, their once mighty armada shattered by a single human vessel. The galaxy will never see us the same way again, Jason observed quietly. Emma nodded, her expression unreadable. No, they won't. For 2 centuries, we hoped peace would be enough. We learned a hard truth. Sometimes, the only way to preserve peace is to be so terrifying in war that no one dares to threaten it. She turned to address her crew, pride swelling in her chest. Well done, everyone. Today, humanity proved that mercy is not weakness, and patience is not cowardice. We are slow to anger, but when we fight to win. The battlefield trembled with the echoes of humanity's arrival, and across the galaxy, species who had once dismissed Earth's children as harmless now whispered a new truth. The humans were awake, and the age of preying on the weak was over. The Indomitable hung in space, a promise and a warning written in steel and fire. Humanity would not be tested again.